All right, Pat, so here we go. Like you said, you had some real highs and lows here the last couple of weeks since we started working on it. And remember, once you be on the plane line, which you did pretty well last time. Let's see, starting out tonight, you're still above it quite a bit. And then there's that setup from the face-on angle. And so here's the different setup. Yeah, so this is a better setup than what we started with tonight, right there, where you have some more knee flex. Right here, you're standing a little farther from the ball. Your weight's going to be a little more toward the balls of your feet instead of here. You said you were on your heels, like I figured. So, and then after that, you start, and then there's the better setup from this face-on angle, where you have your hands more ahead of the ball instead of so far behind it. The ball's farther a little forward in your stance, so now more your body's on this side of the blue line instead of so much your body being out in front of the ball. And then,
like me even farther back?
No, so right off the inside of that left heel will be fine. And then from this better setup now, there's that full swing, just from the better setup, and there's the full swing, we're not working on the swing yet, and there's that club head way outside the ball, and so that's why you're catching toward the heel, hitting those snap fades. And again, the rest of the night now, once we start working on this, oops, there's another one, where you're way outside. You can see that. See that toes outside the mat even. Okay. And then we start working on it, you didn't hit any more snap fades. Because that's where you're coming from, man. See, now before impact, so you're just getting that subliminal feel there, that intuitive right brain feel that indeed you're making contact with a golf ball coming from underneath that line even. Not just on it, but even underneath it, which is totally fine. Right there. Much different than what you started with. And then gradually worked into bigger swings. You still did pretty well with that. Where even with the bigger swings, we started seeing everything go to the right, the snap fades ended. There's a nice one. And this last one was what we called a full swing. It wasn't quite as good in terms of everything, but it wasn't quite as good. It was still better than what we started with. Yeah, and how to kind of monitor it on your own. So I love that, buddy. So here's like one of the best ones versus where we started tonight. So chances are, over the last couple of weeks, my surmisings is that you probably were better with it for the first 3 or 4 or 5 days, and it just kind of went away. Yeah. So this, again, looks much different than the new blue.
If I'm,
right there.
If you were to advise me before I play around the golf, hit a bucket of balls, start baby steps, warm up.
Yeah. That's why it'd be so important before we go to Florida next week to hit a lot of balls out here. 6 or 8 balls with a small swing, 6 or 8 with a full swing. And whether you hit them well or poorly, go right back to the small swing. Because we know you'll still need some weeks and months to get used to it. All right. This is Joel Suggs. I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend and showing you your swing on the 2D equipment that I have. And so I want to take about 2 to 3 minutes to just show you around Meadowlinks. This is the studio I use in the winter for all my students. You see there's the down-the-line camera angle for our 2D equipment. And then we have the face-on camera angle also. And then what we also have here is 3D equipment to where I can show you your swing from 6 different camera angles with this 3D equipment. And we can get your swing from down to the 1/120th of a second in terms of exactly what your hips, shoulders, and hands are doing in the swing. And then also, I have the most realistic hitting curve I've ever seen from puttersedge.com. So when you hit your full shots, it feels as realistic as possible. And then I have 3 different green speeds for you to practice your putting. 9.5 on the step meter, 10.5 on the step meter, and 12.5 on the step meter. That's benefited my students tremendously. And then also I have a lot of learning aids like this Smart Stick. You can see the rest of those learning aids over here in my bag that we can work on to help you learn the certain fields in your golf swing that you and I both want. And then also I help my students a lot with their equipment through the winter. This is a frequency analyzer where we twang your club and it gives us a reading here. And then also we plot your whole set each club on these lines to see if the set is really matched or not. Quite often they aren't, and it helps my students tremendously when they find out what clubs are the offending clubs. And then if we get tired of being indoors and want to go outdoors and hit some, we can do that. It's my daughter! Ellie! Good to see you. I haven't seen her in weeks. No wonder you've been gone, Ellie. You've been out here playing in the snow all this time. But this is our natural turf area. This is closed until April, as you can see. But it's a fantastic area where we can step outside and hit some balls and get some real ball flight. Or, if we get pretty satisfied that things are looking better on the video here, we're kind of cooped up inside and want to go outside, we can step on out and hit balls and see real ball flight for about 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, however long you and I can stand the cold, out into the air, and we see them land at these different flags. I have a yardage book for this driving range. It's the first one I've ever seen in my life where we know exactly what it is with the front, back, and middle of each green. And again, the covered area here is heated, so we stay out there for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, like I said. It enables us to see some ball flight, and then we get satisfied that things are looking the way we want, and we can come back inside, take off our coat, and look again at the video equipment to see how your swing's looking, to make sure that you understand it. And then notice too, my exercise ball up top here, and then also, so I help my students a lot with their fitness through the winter, and then I will help you also with your sports psychology, with your golf psychology from the golfpsych.com people down in Texas. That's helped my students tremendously a lot over the years too. So again, I sure enjoyed meeting you down at the Cincinnati Golf Show this weekend. I look forward to seeing you again out here this summer at Meadowlinks, or even right now in the winter. I have a lot of people that work on their games with me right through the winter. Check out more information about the things I do to help you at joelsuggs.com. Take care.